Thank you for listening, citizens, to the Daily Disney Blog Podcast with, of course, the bodacious, could he be the new launchpad, Brad Hughes. You'll feel the difference. Stay dangerous. Darkwing Duck out.
Hi, this is Bill Farmer, the voice behind Goofy and Pluto and many of your Disney favorites, and you're listening to the Daily Disney Blog, right here.
Hey everybody, this is Brad with the Daily Disney Blog, your source for all things Disney and a how-to guide to Walt Disney World. Before we get the show started, I would like to invite you to follow me over on Twitter at Daily Disney Blog. You can also check out our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/The Daily Disney Blog. You can send listener questions to thedailydisneyblog@gmail.com. And please rate and review the show over on iTunes. Even if you don't listen on iTunes, still do that. It helps us out, lets more people find out about the show. With all that said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We are live! Well, we are live, but we're not quite where we're going to be yet. I am sitting here on Sand Lake Road, right next to Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida. And what we're doing today is something a little bit different. I know this is called the Daily Disney Blog Podcast, but sometimes it's fun to venture out a little bit, and I'm getting some weird looks from the people sitting next to me. Sometimes I like to do something a little different and go to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, because let's be honest, Universal Studios, is it Disney? No. Is it as good as Disney? No. It's not as fun for me. It is not as diverse as Disney, but there are some really good things about Universal Studios in Florida. So what I would like to do today is take you guys along with me through the parks and talk about my favorite things to do at Universal Studios Florida and my least favorite things to do in Universal Studios Florida. And oh my God, is that a dark list to do, you guys? It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough right there to do some things I don't like to do, but we're going to do it and we're going to talk about it. All right, let's do this. All right, we're here at episode 109 of the Daily Disney Blog Podcast, and I, for one, could not be more excited to do this. I love going to Universal Studios. It's a lot of fun. It's a good departure from the Disney stuff. Every once in a while, after you've ridden Winnie the Pooh, like I actually, that ride is really growing on me. Can I be honest with you guys? The Winnie the Pooh attraction is actually growing on me quite a bit. I really love that attraction. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to do something a little different today, and we're going to walk through each of the lands here at Universal. We're going to do Islands of Adventure first, and then head over to Universal and do Universal proper and do that one as well. So are you guys ready for this? Are we down? Are you guys excited? Let's get excited for Universal Studios. The next thing you hear is going to be me walking through Universal's Islands of Adventure Port of Entry, which is actually a lot of fun. So let's jump over there and do that now. If you recognize those sounds, that means you know that you are at the Port of Entry at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure here in Orlando, Florida. And this is pretty exciting because there is a lot of stuff to really explore here. This is one of the places that I think is kind of overlooked here at Islands of Adventure. When you first walk in, it's themed really well. It's actually kind of themed to like a steampunk-ish, like 1600s Spain something. Like I can't quite place. It's like it's almost like fantasy. Like you can't quite place exactly where you are when you walk in here to the Port of Entry. But that's what makes it all the more fun. There is so much like little stuff and little things you can find here that if you kind of walk around for a little bit and explore. I'm standing right outside of the Port of Entry Christmas shop where I'm looking at the Grinch and a few of the Minions. Let's walk in here and see what's up here. There's probably going to be a lot of dead air on this just because I'm walking through and I'm getting weird looks speaking into the microphone. The Despicable Me Christmas light set. A lot of Minion stuff here. And I like this shop. This is really kind of cool. It reminds me a lot, in a way, of the Christmas shop over at Liberty Square at Disney. And that's exciting. This is a really cool spot to just kind of walk around and wander through. Today is not very crowded, so let's put it this way. It is not very crowded here at Islands of Adventure, and I'm looking forward to exploring here a little bit. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to kind of walk through each of the lands. Like I said in the intro, we're going to walk through and tell you my favorite things about this park and my least favorite things about this park. So one of my favorite things is the Port of Entry. The background music is great. I've used it on a few podcasts before. No one notices that it's not Disney music. That's how good it is. It's a pretty short loop, but it's really, really good. This area kind of, to me, ties into the I can't remember the name of the land, but the Mythos land, where Mythos is. I can't remember the name of it. We'll go over there in a little bit. But here's what we're doing. So the plan today, we're going to go clockwise around the park, which is my favorite way to do the parks. Any park, anyway, is to go clockwise. So we're going to go through Marvel's Superhero Island, and we're walking through the port of entry here, and I'm passing Croissant Moon Bakery. So Marvel Superhero Island is on my left here, and we're headed that direction. So let's pause here and go straight to there. So obviously the first thing you see when you cross Superhero Island, and now that the construction walls are down here, it actually looks 10 times better. But the first thing you see when you cross over into Marvel Superhero Island is, of course, the Incredible Hulk roller coaster, which we all know has gone over some recent refurbishments and should open any time now. They've rethemed the entire queue. They've rethemed the launch zone of the coaster and replaced the entire track, and it looks phenomenal. The walls being down has added quite a bit to this land, and I'm going to take some pictures here in just a second. There are still some walls over around where the entrance will be for this attraction because it's not open yet. But man, this looks really, really good. I'm very impressed with what they did so far with the Hulk coaster. I can't wait to ride it, obviously, and kind of give a full review of it there. But this is an amazing time to be a theme park fan. There's so much cool stuff going on in all of these attractions and all the parks. And man, this Hulk coaster is going to be hopefully as much fun as I remember it being as a kid. So let's walk through Marvel Superhero Island and talk about what I like and what I don't like. So as you guys know, one of my favorite things about any of the theme parks is the details, because the details are what make it seem realistic. And there are a few things here in the Marvel Superhero Island part of Islands of Adventure that I really like. I really think that some of this stuff is really, really well done. The first thing is actually was my profile picture for a little bit. The little phones you can pick up throughout the land to kind of report crime going on. And man, it's really dead today. This is a lot of fun. This is going to be a great time. So that is one of my favorite details here in the park. Also, the Fantastic Four mobile, I forget what it's called, is another one of my favorite details. But we're going to go through and look at the facades and kind of give you my favorite things here and there about the park. And I'm actually standing right in front of Cafe 4, which is the Fantastic Four themed restaurant here at Islands of Adventure. And I'm looking directly at the new Hulk statue. Holy crap, that looks really cool. They have a piece of the track. Looks like Hulk ripped it up along with a car. This looks really cool. I got to stop this and take a picture of it. So as like I said at the beginning of this episode, we were going to talk about my favorite things, my least favorite things. My favorite thing in all of Marvel Superhero Island is the Spider-Man attraction, but we'll get to that in just a minute. But this new Hulk statue is pretty incredible. It's like he's ripped up part of the track. The coaster train is doing a flip. Looks really great. But I'm also standing outside of Storm Force Acceleration, which is probably the weakest link of this land. It's basically the teacups at Magic Kingdom, but just kind of rethemed to X-Men, vaguely rethemed to X-Men. And it's still fun, you know what I mean? It's still fun to do, but I cannot wait for this new attraction. And I'm looking here at the sign, and I can confirm that Universal Express Pass will be accepted for the Hulk, because there's a sign that says it will be. And man, I'm really looking forward to this opening up. I hope this opens sooner rather than later so I can get on this bad boy. Cafe 4, which sells, according to their sign, pizza, pasta, and sandwiches. I have never actually eaten that. My good friend Devin works there. Devin, what's up, brother? He works there, but I have not actually eaten there. So let's go and look at some of the little details around Islands of Adventure and talk about what we see. The coolest thing right now I'm walking back towards the Spider-Man attraction here, and I can see Hogwarts off in the distance, and that looks really cool with the Hulk, kind of looking through the Hulk track, seeing Hogwarts Castle. Seeing that's kind of cool. So let's go talk about some Spider-Man stuff. Every so often here at Islands of Adventure, they do a hero brigade where Spider-Man and some of the X-Men come through on these little four-wheelers, and they play rock music. Like, it was so weird to me being in a theme park and hearing Disturbed for the first time, but they actually play a Disturbed song. So I'm actually approaching right up on my left-hand side here, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, which is the Spider-Man attraction, which arguably is still one of the greatest attractions at all of Universal. This attraction is so well done. I remember the first time I rode it with my brother. We were doing this thing where we were trying to take a break from Disney and trying to do other stuff here in Orlando. And so we came to Universal for 3 days, and we had a 3-day park hopper ticket here at Universal, and we rode the Spider-Man attraction. I think we counted doing it 13 times in 2 days, and we actually ultimately ended up going to Magic Kingdom. It was one of the funnest days of my entire life, going back to Magic Kingdom for 1 day. But this Spider-Man attraction is pretty great, and what's weird is if you actually get the privilege, and this sounds weird, to have a longer wait time, you can actually explore the back part of the queue, where it's like the back part of the Daily Bugle, where all the employees park their bikes and they kind of go in. It's really, really well done. It's really cool. It's actually one of the first queues that I remember as a kid being like, wow, this is really well done, and having a story to the queue, not just a place where you stand in line. So I think you can actually credit the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man as the first attraction that had a really good queue. Now, if I'm wrong on this, I think Pirates actually has a really good queue, but this one actually tells the story of where you are and why you are where you are. So I'm going to venture back here a little bit in between the hot dog, draft beer, and cold drink stand and the fruit stand where Electro is, and talk about some cool stuff that is back here that you guys may not know about. All right, I'm back here in between the... Actually, the sign just says store. It's like an overview of the entire park here. You get to see the Lost Island, Lost Continent. That's the name of that land, the Lost Continent. Seuss Landing, the Hulk coaster, Harry Potter, and you can actually see Popeye right next door. And you can tell where I'm at because of the music. But this is a cool little overlook area. You can kind of see a little bit of everything. I don't know if a lot of people know. I can see Rip Ride Rocket off in the distance as well. I can see the Cat in the Hat as well as all of the Seuss Land stuff, carousel as well. This is a cool little area back here. There's also some speakers back here that remind me of like back in the day if you'd gone to the mall and you know those little things, those little weird half bubbles you would stand under to hear the music that was playing. You can hear it there. There's all kinds of stuff back here. This is a cool little overlook area, and now with the construction walls down at Hulk, you can see quite a bit more, and it looks really, really beautiful. You should definitely come check this area out. I'm literally standing here, and there's no one in sight. So this is a pretty dead area back here. If you want to come kind of escape the crowds a little bit, you still get the background music that's kind of loud. And that's through a omnidirectional microphone, so you can tell how loud it is. But it's still pretty desolate back here. I kind of like this area. All right, I know we're only 10 minutes into this podcast here, but I'm actually going to take a break right now because my equipment is actually overheating. That's how hot it is outside today. I've only been here for 10 minutes in the sun, but all this stuff's starting to overheat, so I'm going to take a minute here. And this is the alternate access stuff. Let's see if we can hear it.
Thugs and ne'er-do-wells. Word on the street is that the Avengers are engaged in an outer space battle to save the Earth. So it's a free-for-all here on Marvel Superhero Island. I got dibs on Sid and Marty's jewelry exchange because I'm getting engaged. But otherwise, the sky's the limit. Rob, loot, and steal like there's no tomorrow, because there may not be one. That's all.
I like this stuff because if you pick up the phones, you can report crimes. That's kind of what you're doing when you pick up those phones there. So it's pretty cool, and I like that tie-in here with Marvel Superhero Island. I'm going to walk around the front here, go around to the back side. But that's a cool little detail, and I like that little added extraness that Universal decided to add with that, because you get to see one side of the story. You get to see the villain side, and then when you pick up the phone to call in, you get to hear the hero side as well. So if you buy one of the Universal mugs, this is a great spot to come in here and refill your freestyle mug. But I'm going to take a break for a few minutes while we let everything cool down, including myself. All right, guys, we are walking through here now over into Toon Lagoon, coming through the area here next to the comic book store where Magneto has fallen and gotten his butt kicked. His helmet even fell off. That's impressive. I forgot to mention one thing here. I'm a huge Daredevil fan. So before the Netflix show, before all that, I have been collecting Daredevil comics for a very long time. I'm a huge Daredevil fan, and there's actually a reference to Daredevil here where you can see Murdoch and Nelson, attorneys at law, over in between the areas of, let me see, where is it? It's in between like the Hulk coaster and the Amazing Spider-Man ride. So it's in between there. You can see that. That's one of my favorite things of all time. I've tweeted that out a few times. I didn't notice it when I was a kid because I was more impressed with like doing stuff. But I noticed it as an adult, and it makes me very happy that that's actually here. So we're actually walking into Toon Lagoon here, and I think there's something pretty interesting that we should talk about here. So there's an entire space here that was dedicated to a live Toon show. It is the, I think they call it like the Toon Theater or something like that. And this area is allegedly going away because they're going to be making room for the live, I'm sorry, not live. They're going to be making room for an attraction based on the show or the movie, The Secret Life of Pets. And apparently it's going into the Toon Lagoon area here. Now that could change. They were saying at one point that it was going to go into the Minions area. Or I'm sorry, not Minions, the Shrek area of Universal. But now I'm hearing rumblings that it's going to go here because this space is just dead. They don't use it for anything. And it's quite a big theater. I'm kind of looking here. So I can walk around over here and kind of take a look at what it used to be, like the former glory of this place, kind of see what was up. They don't use it for anything anymore. So it'd be interesting if they actually did make this an attraction based on The Secret Life of Pets. But we can always speculate and guess. But we will never know until Universal actually makes a full announcement about what they're doing with this place. But this is a pretty big amphitheater here. And where this is in between the Phantom store and the entrance to, from on this side, to Marvel Superhero Island. And this is a pretty big space. I mean, you can kind of. I'm doing a video simultaneously with this as well that you'll see over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheOrlandoVlogger. And I might try to sneak. Oh, I'm looking. There's Bullwinkle. Holy crap, Bullwinkle's out. This is fantastic. That is so cool. Hi, Bullwinkle. I don't think you can see me, but this is really cool. And if this does actually go here, I'll be pretty impressed because this is a pretty big area. Sounds nostalgic, doesn't it? I'm actually going to try to sneak in here and see if I can see what used to be here. So while we're standing in this area, before I walk through, because it's going to be pretty loud, it's a pretty loud area back here. So one thing I really like about this, I like all the shops. They have some pretty cool merchandise in all the shops here. And when I was a kid, I remember coming here and getting I was a huge Popeye fan as a kid. And I remember getting a spinach hat, and I will post pictures of that spinach hat if I can find any over on Google. But one of the things I really loved was they actually have a Wimpy's hamburger stand. Now, I haven't been here when it's been super, super busy, so I don't know if it's one of those things where they open it seasonally or if it's just never open anymore. But last few times I've been here, it has not been open. So I kind of hope that maybe they bring that back because I'm a huge fan of Popeye, and I would like to see. I would really like to buy a hamburger from Wimpy's. That'd be really cool. But there's all kinds of cool stuff here, like Comic Strip Cafe. The Boop Oop a Doop Betty Boop thing, and by the way, the Betty Boop meet and greet. Betty Boop is hot, and I know it sounds weird, but she's pretty hot. And I like the Dudley Do Right Ripsaw Falls, which is basically Universal's version of Splash Mountain, which is still pretty cool. I like it a lot. You get more wet than you do on Splash Mountain for sure. Along with the Popeye attraction, which if you're going to ride Popeye and Dudley Do Right, make sure you bring a bathing suit because you will get more wet than you've ever been in your entire life. Like you could literally jump into a pool instead of riding Popeye, and you'd be the exact same level of soaked. So just kind of be warned about that because I know I came whenever I was moved here, and I remember getting wet on it, but I thought it was just like one of those weird things where like, oh no, I was the one who got wet. No. Everyone gets soaked. You may as well jump into a pool because you're gonna get the same amount of wet as you would if you didn't. So just be warned on that. And that kind of goes for all water rides here at Universal. Like Jurassic Park, you get pretty wet on as well. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're going through. Just bring a bathing suit. Throw it in the stroller if you have kids. Throw it in the stroller. Change into it before you go. Change back out of it after you get on the attraction. So just keep that in mind. What else do I really like here? There's actually nothing here I don't like. Everything is pretty cool, except the only thing I don't like is the waste of space behind me. But that is allegedly going to be used for something different. And like I said, I'm going to try to sneak in here and see if I can see something. So let's just try that. For what it's worth, I was able to go and look at the Toon Lagoon Theater, and it looks like nothing changed. There's just some empty space there, and I really wouldn't be surprised if they kind of make this a 2-story show building, because it's probably 2 or 3 stories tall, maybe 4 stories tall, as far as like for looking at it up from ground level. So that wouldn't be surprising to me if they made like a really big kind of winding attraction through the world of Secret Life of Pets, but who knows? We will see when Universal decides to make an official announcement on that. But until then, we can only speculate. So now we're walking through the exit here of Toon Lagoon, headed up on Reign of Kong, which we'll talk about in a second. I am walking towards the incredible Sea Icy Falls drink stand, I guess. They get to do slushies and that kind of stuff, ices. And this is pretty incredible. I mean, this land here is kind of the bridge to where, I don't want to say the word mediocrity, but where the mediocrity starts and the really cool stuff starts to come. Especially with Skull Island Reign of Kong, which is, I was able to do a soft opening of it about a month and a half ago now. It's been a while. And it was really, really fun. There's a lot of really cool innovations with the Skull Island Reign of Kong. You get the automated animatronic driver in your vehicle, which is pretty cool. And there's about 4 or 8, I can't remember, different drivers. And the Skull Island line right now is really long. It's all the way back to the entrance of the Toon Lagoon sign over on this side of the park. So it's pretty long. So what else is in this area here? The pterodactyl flyers I have yet to do because you have to have a kid to go with you on it, and I don't think my son's tall enough. But when he is, I really want to do this. It looks like a lot of fun. There's one going over me right now, and it looks really cool. So today is actually the grand opening day for Skull Island Reign of Kong, and like I said, it's a really great attraction, and it's definitely worth seeing if you haven't seen it yet. I say opening day, but as I'm standing here, it's like no one is going in the line. Wonder what's up. Let me see. This little area is actually really clever because what they did was they put, and this is kind of a spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know anything about the Reign of Kong thing, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds of area music here to stop, and I will not spoil it for you, but I'm going to spoiler alert here. It's official spoiler alert, so listen. All right, spoiler alert is officially worn its welcome out. So what they did was they actually put Skull Island Reign of Kong next to the Jurassic Park attraction, which actually makes sense for the attraction because there are dinosaurs in the attraction, and I'm not going to go past that, but it is kind of a spoiler. If you don't know anything about the attraction, you might want to keep your your guard up so you don't know anything about it. But once you get on it, you'll see that there actually are dinosaurs in the attraction. And putting it next to Jurassic Park actually thematically makes quite a bit of sense, and I'm actually kind of glad they did it. It's really, really cool, and you really should. So I heard today that the official opening of Skull Island Reign of Kong was today, but as I walk by, it is not open. I don't know if and it says opening summer 2016. So, guys, it's summer. It's 106 degrees outside today, so it's definitely summer, and I think they're just waiting to. I actually know. I'm not going to blow her cover, or his or her cover. It's a her. I'm not going to blow her cover, but I have a friend of mine who actually works on Skull Island Reign of Kong, and she was telling me that the only issue they are having with the entire attraction is not the animatronic breaking down. It is the scene in the ride where the vehicle moves. And I'm not going to tell you past that because I don't want to, you guys to be spoiled on it here. But that is the major issue they're having with this attraction. It's a great attraction, and it would be really cool if it worked 100% of the time, but obviously that can't happen right now. So they're working out the kinks there, but once this opens, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be like not next level because it's kind of the same stuff as Universal does, but the queue is next level and the facade is next level. I think the queue and the facade are actually the best things about Skull Island Reign of Kong. Since I've ridden it a few times now, I think that this is the best part of it. You know, looking out the front of it and being able to walk through the queue there. And it's almost like a mini Halloween Horror Nights with how intense it is once you actually get inside. But it's really cool, and I hope you guys can ride it in the near future because it's really, really cool. It's worth doing. It is hot today, by the way. Have I mentioned how hot it is? It's really, really hot. I'm in the sun. There's like very little clouds in the sky. Every so often, one of the clouds will eclipse the sun here. You get a little bit of a break, but not a lot, man. It's really, really hot here. So I'm walking through now the Jurassic Park attraction where you go down and, it's the raft ride. If you've never done it, do it. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty intense at the end, too. It starts off like a really calm, sweet, nice little boat ride. And then something bad happens, and it's like the cliche of every Disney attraction. Something bad happens. And then you kind of go on an adventure here. But this one is a little bit different in that it's Jurassic Park, so there's dinosaurs in it. And it's intense. So this area is actually really well themed. It's themed to Jurassic Park. So you just feel like you're in the Jurassic Park. And And there's a few attractions. There's some minor attractions here. The main attraction, like I said, is the raft ride, the pterodactyl flyers, which I mentioned earlier, and then a velociraptor encounter that is very much different from the attraction that they used to have, the Triceratops encounter, where they had like a giant animatronic and the Triceratops was sick, quote unquote, and you would go through and you would kind of see the Triceratops and quote unquote like try to make it better. I never did that previous attraction, so I can't really speak to it as much as I can. Also, that's here now, but it's a great area, man. This park's nice. I prefer Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios, and you'll kind of see that once we start talking about Universal in a little bit. But this is a great little area here. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is one of the areas here is like the Jurassic Park Discovery Center, and there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. If you're here, I urge you to go in there and kind of see what that whole little area has to offer. It kind of feels like the more science side of the film, not as much science fiction. It kind of feels like you're doing like science experiments. It's really cool, so definitely check it out. And actually, right now, only a 30-minute wait for River Adventure. That's not bad. If I didn't have all this equipment, I would totally hop on that bad boy and get wet and cool down, because God knows it's hot. I'm dying. And we are coming up on the Jurassic Park Center here in just a minute, which means we are halfway done with this episode. As far as geographically, I don't know how much longer this episode is actually going to take to record, but we are can't talk. Geographically, that's not a word, but you know what I'm saying. We're halfway through the park. You guys that I told you guys I was dumb. So if you listen to me, that's on you. I told you guys I'm stupid. Geographically, we're halfway. I don't know the word. I'm going to stop trying. We're halfway through the park, so we'll see how much longer this podcast lasts. We're coming on the Discovery Center, which means we're actually headed into Hogwarts, the land of wizards and witches. Is that right? Yeah, wizards and witches. That's where we're headed. By the way, if you actually come here in July as a tourist, you're a brave soul. It is hot as crap out here. I can't believe how hot it is. I work outside, but I'm not always in direct sunlight. And it is hot, man. This is ridiculous. I don't know how you guys do this. How do you guys come in July? Just wait. Just wait till November or December to come when it's slower. And there's less heat. I'm about to pass out from the heat here. This is ridiculous. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the sound of the Jurassic Park score for the Jurassic Park film. It is the area music here inside Jurassic Park, but we are actually headed into something a little bit different and calls for a different kind of an introduction. By the way, if you knew how many people were actually watching me and judging me for talking into a microphone inside a park, it would make you laugh. But we're actually walking right inside now. We're going under the gates here, and we're going into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is exciting because this is my favorite land here right now. Well, actually, you know what? I think Marvel's Superhero Island is my favorite just because I like it a little bit. But the theming, as far as theming goes, this is hands down the best area inside Universal Studios. So let's walk here and let's talk about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade. First thing let's talk about is how it is themed. It is themed to Christmas time inside of Hogsmeade, and there is snow on the roofs here inside London. But let me tell you what, if the snow hasn't melted already, I'm melting. So I'm telling you, it's like 106 degrees out here, and I'm dying. I don't really complain about the weather, but there's like no shade here. This is ridiculous, and it's boy, is it hot outside today. So let's talk about some Hogsmeade stuff. So this is actually my favorite attraction in either Universal Studios or the Islands of Adventure Park proper. This is my favorite. The Forbidden Journey with Harry Potter, where you go inside Hogwarts. I can't believe I didn't know that. And you board a broomstick and you fly with Harry and his friends, and there's an adventure, and you go inside a house. There's a dragon. It's pretty intense. It's I've said many times on this podcast that this is the most unique attraction in all of Orlando, because what you get to do on this experience is it's not a ride, it's an experience. Like, you're going through these areas, and it's kind of hard to explain if you haven't done it, but once you do it, you kind of want to talk about. The experience of this is unlike anything I've ever done. You're going on the technology that's the Kookaburra arm, which is, if you've ever done the Sum of All Thrills inside of Epcot's Innoventions, you know what I'm talking about. It's that technology. You go through, it's 4 people per attraction, or per ride vehicle 4 people per ride vehicle. You go on, and then you go on just an insane adventure through Hogwarts, through magic and wizards and dragons and all kinds of crap that I actually don't know about because I'm not a Harry Potter nerd in the sense. I wish I was, because if I was, this would be like where I would stay all day 24/7. This is going to be my Star Wars land when Star Wars Experience opens up. So this is pretty incredible. So I'm excited to be here. And I'm actually going to hop on Forbidden Journey. And let's see if we can take this on here. And I'm going to switch from my plugged-in microphone here that I'm talking into to one of the external mics on the recorder here. Maybe we can get some cool audio of this attraction, because this place is really dope. I can't believe I'm a grown man. I just said the word dope, but I did, and I don't apologize for it. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, why don't we go ahead and talk about the other stuff that's inside of Hogsmeade Village. There are plenty of things to talk about. So we can talk about Dragon Challenge, which was basically the attraction that used to be dueling dragons that they rethemed to be Harry Potter, and inside of it is really well done. Now, I don't remember the entire line because when I first wrote it, I was a kid, and I don't really remember how it was themed as far as the queue goes. But now it's really well done. I know they rethemed it for Harry Potter, and it's pretty incredible what they've done. It's there's projections in there. It's tight little corridors. It's kind of claustrophobic, which makes me scared because I'm a little bit claustrophobic. But it's really, really well done. And I've heard rumors of that closing and them doing something else over here, maybe with the Ministry of Magic. Ooh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? What is the Ministry of Magic, you guys? I have no idea. Actually, I do know. I'm just kidding. So that would be really cool if they did that. What else is there here? There is the Honeydukes, which is the little candy shop, which is unbelievable. If you haven't seen or read the Harry Potter books, and I've seen a few of them, and I know what Honeydukes is because I know people who explain to me what it is. It's arguably one of the most well-themed gift shops of all time. Like it's unbelievable how well they did this. Go in there, I've spent about 30 minutes in there one time, just walking around, looking at each individual thing, looking at the chocolate frogs. I actually asked one of the team members here if the chocolate frogs actually came with one of the little cards like they say they do in the books and the films, and in fact they do. So it's pretty cool. They've done a really good job in this area, and unfortunately, this does play second fiddle to to Universal's Diagon Alley, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Because man, Diagon Alley just takes it to the next level. Like as good as this is, Diagon Alley is probably 10 times better, and I can't believe I'm saying that because this is so well done, but it's true. It's about 10 times better than Hogsmeade. So. Because this is like Hogsmeade, as well as it is, they added one attraction and they just basically did overlays on 2 other attractions. Like, let's be fair about what it is. And they actually, you know what? They added 2 attractions because of the train that takes you to Diagon Alley. So they did 2 attractions here essentially, but one mainstay here. But that one mainstay attraction is just, it's unbelievable. I love it. I love Forbidden Journey. The only issue is with the front of the castle, from where I'm standing, you can see the show building, and I wish you couldn't because it kind of takes it away a little bit from the attraction here. So I might be able to do this. I don't know if I have my laptop with me, so I don't know if it'll fit inside the lockers, but let's go find out. Success. It actually fit inside the locker. And the reason this sounds kind of janky is because I'm using the microphones on my Zoom H4n. I'm not using the external microphone, so it kind of sounds like crap, but that is what it is. And we're actually here now on the Forbidden Journey attraction inside Oslo Adventure, and it's going to sound like crap for the rest of the time. They're very strict about what you can and can't take on the attraction. So I'm trying to sneak this into my pocket and record as much of the attraction as I can. We'll see how it turns out. If not, this was all for nothing. And but that's why it kind of sounds horrible. But I'm in the single rider line, which if you guys are just focused on getting on the attraction, this is your way to go. I mean, you literally walk onto the attraction, and it's a very good thing that Universal has done the single rider line, because I think Disney could learn a little bit from Universal about the single rider line. They have them for a test track and a few other attractions, Rock and Roller Coaster, and God, is that it? Can't be it. I feel like I'm missing one. But this is great. So you can hop right on. But if you've never done this attraction, I highly urge you to do this attraction all the way through. Go through the queue, experience the entire thing, and you won't be upset that you did it. So that's it. Let's go see if we can get on.
Sword in back or neck. Then leave. It's easy. You've traveled far. You're very near.
Oh man, that's the Sorting Hat. I'm excited. We're at the end of it. You should go right away. Let's hop on this bad boy and see what's up. Alright, we're doing this now, but we'll have to edit a little bit of this out. But this is where we are now. We're about to get on.
Go ahead, send your 3 behind them.
Alright, guys, let's see if you can hear me at all. I probably can't. All right, here we go. We're on the attraction. You can hear it. One, two, observatory. Oh man.
Come on, Buzz! Buzz and Harry will meet you outside!
Hermione did it! They're flying! Keep up, Ron! We're on our way! We'll meet you outside! Sorry about that! Those benches can be a bit dodgy! But we haven't lost anyone yet! Not this week, anyway!
Haven't seen a dragon, have you?
Right!
Whoa!
Nip over to the Quidditch pitch! Hagrid! The dragon! Look out!
No! This is where it gets really creepy, and the dragon inside this little house thing. You can see the wing, and it's really foreboding. It's really intense sound. There's binaural audio behind you, and then you see, oh, dragon! Ah! Your face! It's like 6 inches away from your face. It's so scary. You can put your foot out and touch the wall. Like that's how close you are to everything in the Forbidden Journey. It's really. Oh God, a spider! A spider! Oh, there's Hermione. Thank you, Hermione. Everything is really close to you in this attraction. It's so scary. This is where it gets really creepy. Whoa! If you're claustrophobic, this ride is not for you. If you can't compartmentalize and realize you're in an attraction, don't do this ride. It's so scary. There's a tree outside of Hogwarts. Ah! That's a huge animatronic. Holy crap! Ah!
Where have you been? Me! Follow me! Coming off
You're mugging admirers, Potter! I've read this a few times, you guys. Read. Oh no, not Dementors! No! Oh, follow Harry! He knows what to do! Oh no! It's so scary! Ah! I think it should be Scary Potter! Oh, not Dementors! No! Oh! Oh! out here in a second. So well done, good Lord. Oh, that's not good. Oh no! Leave them alone!
Leave them alone! Get away from them!
Thanks, Harry. Harry's got our back, you guys.
Expecto Patronum!
Use the Patronum spell, we're good.
It's caving in!
Oh, we're in a cave and it's caving in. Not good.
Let's get out, quick!
Hurry.
We made it! To the Great Hall!
We made it.
Thanks, everybody! You were brilliant!
You've shown great bravery. Feel free to return to Hogwarts anytime.
Thanks.
Tuck your elbow in.
That was awesome. I love doing this. Hope you guys enjoyed Forbidden Journey. God knows I did. So we got to keep walking around here doing our walkthrough of Islands of Adventure. So we're headed now to talk a little bit about Planet Hippogriff and the overlay that was, and then a few more things, and then we are done with this episode, and we're heading over to Universal proper. All right, let's do this. All right, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to do my walkthrough of Lost Continent because it messed up. I'm actually sitting here at the exit of the Cat in the Hat attraction here at Sue's Landing, but for whatever reason, it decided not to record a good 5-minute chunk. I don't know why that happens, but it happens every so often when you switch from the external mic into the mics on the recorder. So I apologize, but thank God it cut out there and not something more interesting, because the Lost Continent isn't that great. There's the Fire Ears kebabs, there's the 7 Voyages of Sinbad attraction, and then the Poseidon's Fury attraction, which actually is a lot of fun, and we will talk about that at some other point. Maybe do a walkthrough of that, maybe on the Orlando Vlogger page. But at least it wasn't, one of the Harry Potter lands or something like that. But it's raining really bad. You heard at the end of this episode that it was starting to rain, and it's raining really, really bad. So I'm waiting for the rain to subside. I was editing this, listening to it, and there's a 5-minute gap here of what was the Lost Continent. But there's just not a lot there. That's like I think everything should be judged by its weakest link. And the Lost Continent, for me, is leaps and bounds the weakest link of Islands of Adventure. So if they bulldoze that, maybe that's where they put Nintendo, that'd be cool. But I've heard rumors of another place they're going to put the Nintendo stuff. And we'll talk about that when we head over to the Universal Park. But that's it for this. And sorry about this weird little gap here and just trying to fill it in. But that's what happens sometimes. So this is why I check and edit stuff before we leave. So, yeah, that's it. All right, we're heading over to Universal. I'll see you in a minute. All right, there's a lot to do in Sue's Landing. There's all kinds of food and all kinds of attractions here. A lot of them are generic attractions. Only one to me that is not generic is the Cat in the Hat Dark Ride, where you go through the story of Cat in the Hat. It's a lot of fun. They have the One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, which is basically a Dumbo spinner, just outfitted to look like One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. McGurkus Circus is a quick service restaurant here, and then you have the walkthrough of If I Ran the Zoo, which is actually one of my favorite things here, along with the Highway in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride, which is a lot of fun. If you haven't done it, definitely do it, but do it in the morning because it's one of those things you could actually go for rope drop and do, because it's not worth waiting 45 minutes in line. Or I'm sorry, 35 minutes, which is the line is right now. The line is 35 minutes long, but it's definitely worth doing. If you haven't done it, do it. It's not something you're going to play and trip around, but it's a lot of fun to do. So if you haven't done it, do it. And why don't we go over here and look at the wind is blowing. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the microphone. This microphone's pretty well made, so hopefully it's kind of keeping a lot of it out. But why don't we go through something that a lot of us have never done and do the If I Ran the Zoo walkthrough. All right, I just did the walkthrough of If I Ran the Zoo, and unfortunately not a lot of audio cues. I thought I remembered more sound than that. Apparently just a lot of walkthrough. So why don't we go see how long the wait is for Cat in the Hat. We'll do another ride through. How does that sound? That sound good? I don't even know how the Harry Potter one turned out yet. So if you're listening, you're going, what ride through? I may have edited out the Harry Potter one because it probably sounded horrible. But That's what happens when you're holding onto a recorder for dear life on a, on a crazy attraction. So let's go see how long the wait is for this. It's a 5-minute wait. All right, we're going to switch back over to the craptastic audio of the Zoom H4n, which actually isn't that bad, but considering I'm talking into a microphone, it sounds way better. We're going to switch over to the external mics here and do the ride through here of the Cat in the Hat attraction here at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. This attraction has one of my favorite things ever when you walk in, a nice cool queue. It's really good. It feels like you're outside of the house of the kids inside of the story of Cat in the Hat, and it's really well done. It's nice and cool. There's quotes from the book on the wall. It's great. This is a great attraction. Here we go on the Cat in the Hat ride, kids. Here we go. I'm in the front. Excited. Ooh. It's raining here at the Cat in the Hat house. Is it raining here at the Cat in the Hat house? Oh my gosh, no way. Her list is juice, eggs, milk, cheese, bread, Polish apples, ham, cookies, and butter.
Made us jump. We looked, and we saw him step in on the ground. We looked, and we saw him, the Cat in the Hat.
Cat, go away. You do not want to play. He should not be about when your mother is out.
A little bit of wind, I apologize. A little quick movement.
Look at me.
I'm alone on this thing.
With a cup and a cake.
On the top of my hat! Look at this. It's so exciting. Woo! See, I don't like when attractions do this. They show one version of a character, like an animatronic, and then an animated version. I don't like that.
Do I like this?
Oh, no, I do not. Oh, no, I do not. I do not like this. Not one bit.
I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. They
Thing 1 and Thing 2.
It's
so
cute. They will give you some fun.
Oh, there he is.
Wet.
Thing 1. No, Thing 2. Turn the light off. Save energy, Thing 2.
The fish in the pond.
They should not fly kites in a house. They should not.
No, they should not. Fly kites in the house. Oh, no, they should not. Popcorn. I love popcorn. Oh, wind. Oh, these rambunctious things.
I do not like the way that they play. If Mother would say that, no, what would she say?
What would she say? Oh, he's taking a bath. Look at him. He's so cute. Oh, no. Oh, no. They're going to push the piano on me. Ah! Oh, thank God they didn't do it. Crash. Oh, I guess they did hit me. All right, this is where it spins. And apparently they toned down the spinning of this attraction. I don't remember it being less than this. Oh, wait, yes, I do. It was supposed to spin this whole way down here. This stinks. No more spinning. Boo.
Your mother is near.
Boo.
So as fast as you can, think of something to do. You will have to
Get rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2. I could do the fish's voice, you guys. You do not have to get rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2. This is a good ride, by the way. Doing cartwheels. Wow, that's a very 70s wardrobe that your father has, young man. Get those things yet. I like Dr. Seuss as a kid. You know what I mean? Oh, here we go. We're spinning now. Whee! Yeah, we're spinning. We spun once. Little cleaning machines everywhere. It's got arms. It's pretty dope.
Said the Cat in the Hat. Then our mother came in and said to her,
Did you have any fun?
Tell me, what did you do? Oh, it's spinning for no reason. Hey, it's the Cat in the Hat in Thing 1 and Thing 2.
well, what would you do if your mother asked you?
I would tell the truth because I'm not a lying little turd, you kids. That's what I would do. All right, we're done here. I'm going to close this before I look like a weirdo talking about myself into a microphone. And in great Disney fashion, they drop you off right in front of a gift shop. I'm going to go out the back door here, and so I can talk to you guys and have a little bit of peace and quiet out here. This is where the classic picture of me sitting on the egg has originated from. And there's no one out here again. This place back here is usually pretty empty. and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of ambient background noise, and it's pretty cool. This is where Horton hatches the egg, by the way, just for the record. And this whole episode was supposed to be an episode of me talking about what I do and do not like. I like everything here in Seuss Landing, with the exception of the fact that they have a restaurant here called Green Eggs and Ham, and they never have it opened. And that bothers me, because what more iconic restaurant could you ask for to have, themed food like Green Eggs and Ham? Maybe the Krusty Krab. If you did that, that'd be another one that would be very, very well themed. You could do a lot with it, and I hate to see it sitting there basically empty now. It's another one of those where I'm like, I don't know if it is open seasonally, but I've never seen it open, and it kind of bums me out. But that's it. We've done a complete walkthrough around Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, and I'm headed right next door to do the same thing with Universal Studios Park proper. And I say proper because I'm a gentleman. But that is it for this episode. Thank you so much. And this is kind of like a bonus episode as an apology for you guys. It's been a lot of craziness the last few weeks. Brandy's moved down here. I've been helping her move in and stuff, and haven't been able to do as many podcasts as I like, go to the parks quite as much, just because I'm helping somebody move. And obviously that takes a little bit of time to do. But this is a thank you and an apology for sticking in there with me and making sure that we're having another record month. Every month we break records of the last month, and that is a testament and a thank you to you guys for doing that. It means the world to me that you guys listen to the podcast. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Daily Disney Blog. You can check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Daily Disney Blog, and you can check out the other YouTube channel where I do a lot of Universal and other Orlando area attractions, The Orlando Vlogger. Search that on YouTube and look for my face. You'll see it. That channel is not quite as established as the Daily Disney Blog one, because I just haven't done but one video there, but I'm working on another one. May or may not be the Orlando Eye. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please rate and review on iTunes and Stitcher as well. And spread the word. If you guys like the show, just every time I retweet it, or every time I tweet out there, just retweet the link to the show and let your friends know that you listen to a fun podcast. And I'm actually kind of nervous to head over to Universal now because it looks like it's raining. I just felt a raindrop on my knee. And the skies are black all around me. So we'll see if we actually even get to do this one today. But if not, if we don't get to do it today, we'll definitely do it in the near future. So thank you guys so much for downloading this episode. And I will see you guys tomorrow with another... Oh, it's raining pretty hard now. You hear that? Oh, crap. It's raining pretty hard. Uh-oh. Came out of nowhere right as I'm ending this episode. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow with another episode. It might be Universal Studios. It might be something completely different. But it'll always be fun. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye! Hey, it's Brad again, and thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It means a lot to me that you download each and every episode, and I want to thank you personally from the bottom of my heart. I love Disney, and I love getting the chance to make your day even just a little bit more magical. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next show.